I'm speaking to a lot of my Brazilian friends about technology and about the differences between our culture and the culture of foreign people. People who speak English as a first language, that's one thing, and people who speak English as a second language but are in a different country, that's another particular thing that we need to keep in mind. Are different things though the language is the same. The contexts for a bilingual person are many, but for a person who only speaks one language, that is going to play a role in how you interact. One of the things that is the most common is people will make the language easier for you. And when you get to know the people you're talking to, who they are, how they talk more naturally, how they talk in a natural setting, you will see that maybe when you're talking you're going to develop a sense of something is wrong, or maybe they don't trust you, maybe they think you're not able to understand them because of the whole country situation, the distance situation. But it's actually about the language. Now, this is one thing that is important. The other is when you are seeking context, because that is what we all want to do, right? You want to learn English to seek context. Of course, that has to do with your work, and nobody's saying that this is a course that is designed to prepare you to have conversations on social media and talk to people like you're making friends on the internet, for example. No, we can have two things. We can have this, of course, which is something I emphasize a lot actually, not so much in the classes, but through the materials and the blogs. But you also have opportunities to grow in your professional area, and there are many things that we can discuss, so you can be a more accurate communicator and a person who sees the context of other people more clearly, because I'm going to present to you situations that you need to solve, and I'm going to give you feedback on that. Every teacher needs to do that. But another thing which I think is particular of this course that I've prepared is that we're looking at two different things: technology on one side and people on the other. And today I think there's a very interesting phenomenon in maybe developing countries, which is we tend to look at the technology very superficially, and we tend to look at the people in the same manner. So either way you decide to go first, looking at the technology or looking at the people, you need to pay attention to how these things connect and are not isolated. A lot of people don't start conversations in English because they're thinking, oh my God, there's this whole technology apparatus and I can't feel comfortable talking, for example, in front of a camera because, I don't know, that's not who I am. I prefer face-to-face interactions. Well, then you're missing an opportunity. But that's not more or less the culture here in Brazil. We don't usually seek international context to put on our WhatsApp list. WhatsApp is very popular in Brazil. In other places it's not really. So understanding the technology is one thing, but I'm going to mention security. For example, two-factor authentication on all of your accounts. That's a basic thing. That's a basic thing. Why? Because of accounts, email accounts, because of internet service providers, and because of the security of your devices and how they are integrated. If you don't have two-factor authentication, it makes you very... I'm going to give you an example. If you go on Facebook and you see the logged in devices, you're going to see a lot of things that don't belong to you. So they're giving you a heads up. Look, you got to look at this first. They're actually not giving you the heads up. I am. But you need to do that in order to feel more safe. So if we don't look at the technology, that's the problem. What if we don't look at the people? It's a problem too. We're going to be formatted by stereotypes of people, prejudgments, preconceptions, prejudice, and a lot of things that will stop us from interacting with the person who could maybe change our lives. Whether you're doing this on LinkedIn or Instagram or maybe TikTok, these people can have a positive impact in our lives. And it matters to pay attention to the technology with a more keen eye, more observant eye, more curious eye, and to pay attention to the cues, the clues, the characteristics of people, so that you can make a fair assessment about who they are, instead of what is said on their profile and what they post, what kind of pictures they post, for example. Follow Fluência Participativa on Instagram. If you're not, YouTube is for you to subscribe, and you can go on the website and never miss a blog.